Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by MMA up-and-comer Mike Hernandez. Mike, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Mike, you got a fight coming up October 19th at TXC2 Legends. How's training been going for the fight?
Not well. I got injured in practice, so that's not happening anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I was bummed too. I got hit hard in practice, and it happens. You know, we go hard, we train hard, and sometimes you gotta get injured once in a while. You know.
Oh well. You know, I was really looking forward to watching you fight because I've been, watching you for a very long time, so I'm very sad to hear this, but just curious, how did it all happen, and when exactly did it happen?
It happened about 2 weeks ago. I got kicked in the head, knocked out by Darren Kershank.
Oh, of course.
Oh, he is in the UFC,
yep. Right.
So we were sparring pretty good, and I ducked down to give him a body shot, and he came up with a head kick, and damn, it wasn't his fault. It's never nobody's fault. The only time I'm upset with people is when they don't go hard on me. Because I want to get better every day.
Now,
but yeah, like there's gonna be another show in February at the same spot, so I'm definitely gonna be on that card. So you guys be ready for it, and you guys will be able to watch me then. So that's right around the corner.
Now, whose call was it to pull you from the card? Was it the doctor? Was it a coach? Was it yourself? Who came up with the decision to pull you from the card?
The doctor said it wasn't a good idea, and I was taking time off here and there because I was worried about the injury because I wasn't getting no symptoms right away with the concussion, so I was still sparring, and that wasn't a good idea. So I was like, it wasn't a good idea. I was sparring and getting hit when I wasn't supposed to be, and so the doctor said I should just take this one off, and I took a week off training. So when I fight in my home area, I definitely want to be ready and ready for all the people paying all the money to come watch me because they mean everything to me, and I want to be at my best for them when I fight at home.
Now, had you immediately shut things down when you got the concussion? Had you stopped right then and there, would that have probably saved your spot on the card, or did that not really have any effects that you continued to train even though you probably shouldn't have? Did that make any difference at all?
Yes, it did. If I would have took a break, I probably would still be fighting, but I kept training because I didn't feel no symptoms yet, and then I started getting headaches, and when I was getting hit in practice, I kept going out, and I was out of it, and it wasn't good. So, I learned my lesson. I just gotta, just be smarter about training.
Just curious, where are you training at now? Because the last time I saw you in action live, up close and personal, was TXC Legends, the first one. That was back in August of last year. That fight, you were working with Dom O'Grady and Hate Squad. Just curious, where are you working at now? Are you still working with those guys, or are you at the newly formed Michigan Top Team?
I like those guys. Everything's cool with me and them. It's just I need to be somewhere where I get pushed. And Michigan Top Team is where they push me. I mean, there's Darren Kershank. He showed me how it is to get pushed, and he showed me how to push people. He's a real help for showing me that. And my last fight, I fought a guy that was supposed to wreck me and beat me up good, and trained with Darren, made me a 10 times better fighter than the last time you saw me. And I got the knockout in the first round again because of them. He fought in the UFC, and then this guy would call me. He'd call me the next day. Somebody that fights in the UFC would usually take a break from the game a little bit, but he thought about me and came home and helped me. So that meant a lot, and so that made my decision about gym.
What do you do now? Like, obviously, you can't fight on October 19th, but, I'm sure you're still active in some capacity, probably not taking any more blows to the head because, you got a concussion and all, but training-wise, what are you doing right now to stay in shape?
Running, lifting, I just took 2 days off just because the doctor said I should take a couple days off. I shouldn't jump right in it, but he said I can run and lift. I'm going to get back to training again probably next week. I'm going to start doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling a little bit, but no blows to the head anytime soon. I just want to be ready to go because I know Darren's got a fight coming up, and I got to be there for him because he's always there for me. So I just got to get my head, get everything healed up, and I will get right back to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad because, you're one of the most fun guys to watch out there. Every time I've seen you fight, I've been very impressed with you. A couple fights I wanted to ask you about now that, you don't have this fight coming up. I feel that right now is a good opportunity to bring up some of these fights. So the first fight I want to ask you about was one of the best cards that I've ever seen. I mean, regardless of the organization, Impact Fight League, that was in February 2011. I really enjoyed that card, and your fight against Chad Coon was a back and forth, fast-paced fight where in the beginning of the fight you knocked him down, then a little bit later he knocked you down, and then 30 seconds left in the first round you ended up knocking him out. That was a very exciting fight. How pleased were you with your performance in that fight, and what are some of your memories of that fight?
It was a great memory. The Palace was an awesome place to fight at. I fought in front of my family and friends. That's a blessing right there. Having them all there for me. Nothing means more to me than having everyone there for me. But I love fighting for different people so they can see what I can do too. Chad Coon was a tough opponent, but I wasn't getting the right training then. I'm a 10 times better fighter than I was then. I'm better at everything. I'm better at stand-up. I'm better at jiu-jitsu. I still got to get better at jiu-jitsu, so I just got to keep concentrating on that. But everything is better. I'm a better fighter. It's just I don't think I would. You guys just got to see me fight now. I'm just a 10 times different fighter now.
Now, the second fight I want to ask you about is the only loss of your career. And sidebar to that, is that the only time you've ever lost undefeated as an amateur too?
Yes, it was.
Okay. It was in King of the Cage, and you lost to, I believe his name was Brent Fia? Fria, that's it. Brent Fria. You lost by first round armbar. What went wrong for you in that fight, and was it just solely based on, you not getting the same type of training you're getting now?
Yes, it definitely was. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready at all for a guy like that. I was aggressive. I'm an aggressive fighter. You said you've seen me fight before, and that's the way I fight. But I got to be smarter and aggressive at the same time, and that's what I've been learning. In the Brent Frio fight, I was very aggressive. I just moved my body where I thought I should move it, and that wasn't a good idea, and that's how he caught me in the armbar. My stand-up was looking great in that fight. I was hitting them good, and I was being too hesitant because of the wrestling, and I'll never be like that again. You can't be hesitant because you got to just stick with your game plan and keep fighting, because if you be hesitant, you get caught, like I did.
And now the third fight I wanted to ask you about was the Chris Bourdain fight. That was a fight where you had fought him once before. You fought him as an amateur, and you defeated him in 1 minute and 15 seconds into the first round. Coming back this time around, having more training and more experience, because when you fought him the first time, you were just basically going in there on instinct and natural talent and heart. You really didn't have the kind of training that you have now. So going into that fight, how confident were you that you were going to be able to go in there and do what you did?
I always doubt myself. I always have since the beginning of my career. The only fight that I never doubted myself was my last fight, and like I told you before, it's because of the gym and the training and people getting pushed and having guys that are motivated just like I am. And that's a great thing to have around you, and good talented fighters. When you're beating up everybody all the time, it doesn't make you more confident as a fighter. You want to get beat up, you want to get pushed, and that's what I got from my last fight. The rest of my career, I never got that. I never got pushed. People didn't really tell me. I like being told what to do. I'm like, I want to be like a machine. People program me and tell me what to do, and I do it. And that's the way I like to get trained. No two at my gym now do that. They push me. They get me going. And yes, I was very doubtful in every fight my whole career because I wasn't sure if I was ready. I wasn't sure if I got the proper training. But now that I found the gym that I'm at, I'm definitely confident in myself now.
It was almost exactly a year in between your fourth and fifth pro mixed martial arts fight. You fought Chris Bourdain in August of 2012, and then you didn't fight again until August of 2013. So you had that year gap where you didn't have a fight. Just curious, during that time off, how were you able to support yourself?
I do everything. I used to do garbage. I used to throw garbage at Waste Management, and that's what I used to do. I used to throw garbage and then train. And after I told myself, if I keep winning, I got to make a choice, and if I'm going to continue fighting and go to that point, because to be realistic, you can't work and fight if you want to make it in this sport. You gotta go all the wish I would have done that sooner in my career because I would know a lot more things than I do now, because in the beginning of my career I wasn't learning. I was just going with my instinct and just fighting.
Right.
And I understand that I was winning, but like I should have known. I should have learned a lot more than I don't know now. Like I should have known a lot more. I mean, I'm still learning, and I'm at the point in my career where there's always good to learn, but I should know a lot more.
You haven't really been that active this last couple of years, and I mean, really, if you look at it from a big picture, the guys who are kind of in the same, experience and age bracket as you are in other areas of this country are a lot more active than you are. Why is that? Is it just that there isn't that much opportunity here? Have you fallen into kind of the system, the way things work, with not that many pro opportunities there? Is it maybe these promoters from the other areas of this country don't have money to bring you in? Why aren't you as active as some of these other guys who are kind of in that same age bracket and experience bracket as you are?
Fear. I never told anybody this, but yeah, my fear definitely holds me back. After I win a fight, I'm terrified to do it again because I love that feeling of winning. I love that feeling of being on top. I love that feeling of how people treat me after I win. But I've been learning you can't fear anything. You got to just keep going and you got to keep fighting. God put me here to fight, and I'm realizing that now because I never was sure about what I was supposed to do in life. And yeah, I mean that's about it. I mean, I don't know. That was basically the biggest reason is that my fear. And like I said before, I'm at a different gym now, so you definitely see me fight a lot more. And yes, promoters are pretty bad about money, but that's the way you got to take it. That's the way things are. You got to get the respect to make them want to pay you that money, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. Trying to get all these promoters respect and trying to get them to want me on their cards bad. So I'm just going to keep fighting for the money they give me right now because I know I'm only a 4-1 fighter, and that ain't nothing in this fight game. You got to be 10-1. You got to be 12-1 for them to look at you, and I know that. And if I got to get paid crappy to get to that point, it's not about now. It's about later in career to get that big paycheck, and even those ain't even that big. All I want to do is fight for everybody that loves the sport, and just keep fighting hard for them because they're the reason why I keep doing this. It's not about the money. If you think about the money in this sport, you're doing the wrong thing because there is no money in this sport unless you're the champion of the world and you're doing all the right things. But all I care about are the people and fighting hard for them every time I fight.
If you don't mind me asking, I mean, not that it's any of my business or anything, but what is something that you would make for a fight? How much would you get paid on average for a fight?
$1,000. 6 and 6 was one of my highest checks, and that's about it. And I know a lot of people are looking for more, but that's what you got to deal with right now to get that big paycheck down the line. If I keep knocking people out, sooner or later I'm hoping that I will get that big paycheck. So I'm just going to keep training hard and keep trying to knock everybody out because that's what people want to see, and that's what I want to do. And the thing about me is I'm going to risk every time. If I got to risk myself getting beat up, I'm going to because I want to get that knockout every time. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to do the jiu-jitsu game, even though I need to know it because there are fighters out there that like it. But I'm all about the fans. I want to do what they want to see. They want to see knockouts. They want to see excitement, and that's the fighter I am. And that's the fighter I want to be for the rest of my career, even if I don't make it to the UFC. At least right now, while I'm on top and feeling the way I am, beating people the way I am, this is the greatest thing ever in my life. This is the greatest feeling of feeling this way and people just respecting me the way they do because, like I said before, I do it for all the people that love the sport and people that believe in me.
Is that your main motivation in a fight, is to put on a good show for the fans?
Yep.
I believe it was season 14 of The Ultimate Fighter. I remember seeing your audition video. I believe it was season 14, the Jason Mayhem Miller, Michael Bisping, those were the two coaches that season. You auditioned for The Ultimate Fighter. What exactly was that experience like going through the process of The Ultimate Fighter tryouts, and have you tried out for any of the other seasons since then?
Yeah, I've tried out 2 or 3 times, but all they do is put you on your knees against another guy and make you wrestle in front of them. And that's not my forte. I'm not a ground guy. I wrestled my whole life, but I don't want to be on the ground. I punch. I punch on top of you. I punch on the ground. I punch off my back. I punch. That's all I do is want to punch. But Yeah, they didn't see me punch. They didn't see what I'm about, so I never made it, and I never even made it to the second round. But I always went out there and just had fun, just seeing what it was about. I'm not really thinking about that anymore. I'm never going to try out again.
Right.
I'm going to fight my way there. I mean, all these people want to be on that show. I'm not about being on a TV show and people watching me. I just want them to watch me fight. I'm all about all those people sitting in those seats and me being in that cage and fighting for that. If that's the way I got to do it, that's the way I want to do it. Because I don't care to be on a TV show. I don't care to be one of those guys. I want people to like watching me fight. I don't care what people think of who I am.
Definitely. You said that February is the next time TXC is putting on a pro shows. So is that the date you're targeting for a return, or are you hoping that maybe something will pop up here before then?
I'm thinking something's going to pop up before then. Hopefully I can travel again because I love fighting for new people. Like, I know, like I say, I love fighting for my family and friends, but when I don't fight at home, it takes a lot of stress off me because I'm fighting for new people, and that motivates me a lot because I want to fight good for all these new people. And that's a great feeling because I fought in Minnesota. I fought in Sault Ste. Marie. Sault Ste. Marie, it didn't go right. I lost. That was a horrible feeling.
Right.
But in Minnesota, when I beat somebody in front of all his people, and all those people saw who I was and saw how I fought, I mean, I just want their respect. I love getting people's respect and making them respect me as a person and a fighter.
Mike, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Man, just keep coming. I'm going to keep fighting hard for you all. I don't have many sponsors right now, but I don't really look for that. I'm looking for sponsors later down the line. I'm just all about the fans. I'm all about the people. I love all of you so much. You guys mean so much to me. You're the reason why I keep going. You're the reasons why I keep fighting. It's all because of you guys, and I promise you, when you see me fight again, you're going to see me fight hard like all my other fights.
Mike, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Get well, heal up, and we can't wait to see you back in the cage.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you guys for having me on your show, and yeah, I appreciate it.